in New York, the Red Sox suffered 2 heartbreaking losses. They easily could have left New York in a tie for first place in the American League East with the Yankees. Instead, if the season ended today, Boston would not be in the playoffs. Today, they Sports welcomes you to Fenway Park, where today the Red Sox take on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays in the first half of a day-night doubleheader. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough, along with Jerry Remy. Delighted to have you with us as the Red Sox try to bounce back from that tough weekend in New York. They had the off day yesterday to dwell on that and put it behind them, and turn their attention to the Devil Rays, a team that has gotten their attention not because they've been playing well against the Red Sox on the field. The Red Sox 8-0 against Tampa Bay this year, but they've had some nasty altercations with the prospect perhaps of more.
Well, it has been very strange, Sean. You look over the last 3 years, we saw the incident with Pedro, of course, and this year a lot of guys getting hit. You know, it's not the Yankees that are in town, but it seems like the on-field shenanigans certainly take place when the Devil Rays and Red Sox get together. It would seem to me it's the Red Sox next move. You remember in the last game, Ramirez got hit by Esteban Yan. Yan is not serving a suspension yet. He appealed it. But it would seem after that move right there, the Red Sox will make the next move. Now, we don't know when that's going to come. It's going to come. We don't know if it's going to be today. It's going to be a long day of baseball here at Fenway Park with hot, humid conditions, so tempers could flare.
And the Red Sox point out it seems every time somebody has a good game for them against the Devil Rays, the next game, that player goes out and gets hit by a pitch from a Tampa Bay pitcher. The Tampa Bay pitcher today will be Tanyon Sturtz. The starting pitchers are brought to you by Lexus, pursuing perfection. Certainly Sturtz is in pursuit of perfection. He's 1-9 this year, but he has gone 7 innings or more in 8 of his last 9 starts. He's not been well supported. Tim Wakefield gets the start today for the Red Sox. First pitch from Fenway Park in just a moment. Boston Red Sox baseball is brought to you in part by your New England Ford dealers. For the best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the planet, visit your local New England Ford dealers or log on to newenglandford.com. By Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By your New England Toyota dealer. What makes Toyota the best value? Ask someone who drives one. By H.P. Hood, sponsor of the Hood Home Team Advantage charity program. By your friendly New England Dodge dealers. Grab life by the horns, go Dodge. And by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. Here's the lineup for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They have the worst record in baseball at 30-66. Randy Wynn, the center fielder, leads off. Brent Abernathy, the second baseman. Batting third and playing first base, Steve Cox. Aubrey Huff, the DH and cleanup hitter. Toby Hall, hot over the last 7 games, with an RBI per game over that stretch. He's the catcher, batting fifth. Jason Conti, a late addition to the starting lineup in right field. Ben Grieve, originally in the starting lineup. He was scratched moments ago. Chris Gomez is the shortstop. Jared Sandberg, the third baseman, will hit 8th, and Carl Crawford in left field will bat 9th against Tim Wakefield.
Wakefield making his 4th start of the season for the Red Sox. A win against Kansas City, a loss against the Yankees last time out against Toronto on July 2nd. A no decision, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. The Red Sox won that ball game 2-1. He is 1-0-1, 1 save this year, and a couple of appearances, both in relief against Tampa Bay.
Tim working on a hot and humid afternoon, although the weather could change dramatically and abruptly later today. Our information is that there's some severe weather to the west moving in this direction, likely to arrive in the late afternoon or early evening. That could be a problem for the night game tonight. Hopefully it'll pass through quickly if and when it does arrive. Randy Wynn takes a knuckleball for a strike, and we're underway. A long day of baseball. And the Red Sox hope it'll be a productive day. 317 for Wynn, 8 homers, 44 runs batted in. Another good knuckler. 0-2 on Wynn. He's 5th in the American League in hitting. 5th in the league in hits with 120. Fifth in doubles with 29. He's second in triples with 6. Having an outstanding year. He's gone on 3 pitches. And if that at bat is any indication, Wakefield has a pretty good knuckleball today.
Now the last knuckleball especially got ahead a couple of quick strikes, and this last one really danced for Tim Wakefield. Certainly Randy Wynn has been about the hottest hitter, the best hitter on this ball club all season long.
He is dispatched quickly. 1 out, and the batter Brent Abernathy. And he takes a strike. 4 straight strikes from Wakefield. Abernathy at 242, 2 homers and 26 runs batted in. 90 degrees and sticky at game time. There is a pretty good breeze today to help cool off the patrons in attendance. Southwest wind at 16 miles per hour. Straight strikes from Wakefield. And that one hits Abernathy. Well, with the history between these two teams, anytime somebody gets hit, you ponder it for a moment, but in this case, an 0-2 pitch hitting with a knuckleball. Clearly there was no intent there on the part of Wakefield.
Third time that Abernathy has been hit by the Red Sox, but as you can see, it is the knuckleball, and if you're trying to drill somebody, that's not the pitch you throw.
And that would barely get your attention. Being hit by that pitch, it usually floats up there somewhere in the mid 60 mile per hour range.
And especially when you're ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
Steve Cox took a ball. He's hitting 272. 11 homers and 49 runs batted in. Like the Red Sox, the Devil Rays had an off day yesterday. They snapped a 13-game road losing streak in their last outing at Toronto on Sunday, winning 7-5. The runner goes, and Cox hits one deep to right. Nixon running out of room. It's gone. Well, you saw the flags a moment ago. A pretty good breeze blowing out in that direction. Out toward right. Cox hit it well, got it up into the wind. It provided a little push. And the Devil Rays lead 2-0 on homer number 12 of the year for Cox.
He's been struggling recently, too. 9 for his last 53. He gets the knuckleball here, pulls it, and as you mentioned, Sean, this should be a good day for hitters today, the way that breeze is blowing with these warm, humid conditions. 6 of his last 10 hits now have been for extra bases.
When you look at this Tampa Bay team, there aren't a lot of players who really grab your attention, but Cox is a pretty good player. There's been some speculation that he might be traded, but he doesn't make a lot of money. So if Tampa Bay is looking to unload payroll, he wouldn't be high on the list of guys to move. Aubrey Huff pops one up. Shallow left. It'll be Manny making the catch, battling the bright sunshine and the stiff breeze. 2 outs. Here's the Red Sox defense coming off a very sloppy performance Sunday. 3 costly errors in the loss to the Yankees. It was the 5th time this year they've committed 3 errors in a game. Ramirez, Damon, and Nixon the outfield. Hillenbrand, Garcia, Parra, Merloni, and Offram in the infield from 3rd to 1st. Doug Mirabelli behind the plate for the day game. Jason Varitek will catch tonight. Toby Hall catches the day game for Tampa Bay. He took a ball. 2-12 for Hall, 4 homers, 24 runs batted in. John Flaherty likely to be behind the plate tonight. The nightcap at 7 o'clock. You can see it on Nesson. Hall, Wilson, and Derek Lowe will be the starting pitchers. Chopped down to 3rd to Hillenbrand. Lob the throw across there, a little high, but Hoffman had time to come down with it to end the inning. The Devil Rays grab the lead in the 1st on a 2-run homer by Steve Cox. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Maloney at second base. Nomar Garcia-Parra, the shortstop, batting third. The cleanup hitter, left fielder Manny Ramirez. Shea Hillenbrand batting fifth and playing third. He had an outstanding road trip offensively. Brian Daubach, the DH. Jose Hoffman at first. Trot Nixon, the right fielder, will hit eighth, and Doug Mirabelli catches and bats ninth against the Worcester, Massachusetts native Tanyon Sturtz.
The only win of the season coming against Toronto. That was back on June 26th. Last time he faced the Red Sox, a no decision. He got staked a 3-0 lead, but allowed solo home runs to Ricky Henderson and Lou Maloney to tie the ball game. The Red Sox eventually won that 4-3. He is 3-3 in his career, 8 career starts against Red Sox ball clubs.
He's ready to go to work against Johnny Damon. Sturtz pitching with a 2-0 lead after a home run by Steve Cox. Damon showed bunt, took called strike. 292 for Johnny, 6 homers and 43 runs batted in. Maybe the home stand will help to spark his bat. He had a terrible road trip, hit 139. Went 5 for 36. Check swing. It's a ball. Scott Packard, the third base umpire. Overall, Johnny's just 6 for his last 44. Late swing and a foul ball over by the box seats. Johnny Damon, one of several Red Sox players who attended the celebration of Ted Williams' life here last night at Fenway Park. 3-2 now.
And by the way, terrific job doing the emceeing of that event last night.
Thank you. It was a wonderful event. Pulled foul. There'd been a lot of talk about whether there should even be an event of that type, and a lot have been made about the lukewarm response and ticket sales for a while, but there was a very good crowd here last night, and I think everybody who came, I talked to a lot of people on the way out, Jerry, everybody said the same thing. Yep. It was just a beautiful night. Very fitting tribute to Ted Williams. And I think this new ownership management group has shown that they have a very nice touch, led by Dr. Charles Steinberg, when it comes to events of that type.
Very well done with a very short amount of time to put it together.
Ball 4, Damon walks. By the way, for a guy with 9 knee surgeries and well up there in age, you ran pretty well out to your position.
Hey, when I saw Johnny Pesky run to his position, I figured I better run to mine.
Tell you who else looks like he could still play is Mike Andrews.
Oh yeah, great shape. Jim Lombard.
Yeah. That was a very nice night. Here's Lou Merlone, another who participated in the ceremony last night. Lou has dominated his one-on-one dealings with Tanyon Sturtz. The major reason why he's up there hitting second in the lineup today. 252 for the year for Lou. 2 homers, one of them against Sturtz. One of his 2 career homers against Sturtz. He's 9 for 17 against his fellow Bay Stater. And in the Red Sox last game against Tampa Bay, Merlone hit one of those 2 home runs that he has against Sturtz. That was a key hit as the Red Sox came from 3-0 down to win that game and sweep the brief 2-game series. Sturtz struggling with his control here, the first 2 batters, 2-1.
Sturtz is 4th in the league in walks allowed with 57. He is 2nd in the league in hits allowed, 161. Todd Ritchie of Chicago's allowed 164.
That is a slew of runners when you've allowed 14.5 runners per 9 innings. And then you look at the ERA, Jerry, 4.39. That would tell you he's pitched better than the 1-9 record.
Absolutely.
As we mentioned, he's been a durable pitcher. The runner goes, the pitch is strike, the throw. He is out, apparently safe now, says Joe West. Called him out, called him safe. Joe saying that Gomez, the shortstop, was juggling the ball, and there's no argument from Chris Gomez, so apparently it was a good call.
Very good jump at first base by Johnny Damon. Toby Hall throws well. There's the tag, but yeah, never had control of the ball, and it looked like it just popped right out. Now, will he get credit for a stolen base? He made the out call first and then changed it to the safe call. Sometimes when that happens, you don't get credit for the steal.
They just announced it is a stolen base. '24th of the year for Damon. The 2-2 to Merlone. He struck him out. Foul tipped into the mitt. That's the first out of the inning. The birthday boy, Nomar Garcia Parra, stands in. Hitting .301, 13 homers, including 2 on Sunday at Yankee Stadium. 73 runs batted in now for Nomar. He is 6th in the American League in ribbies.
Nice way to spend your birthday with a split doubleheader here at Fenway Park.
Nomar is 29 today. The 1-0 pitch. Foul ball, 1-1. Garcia Parra hit 2 homers Sunday. Ramirez hit 2. The Red Sox had 5 as a team, and yet lost their second straight 9-8 decision. That one had to smart a little bit.
Might have been good that the Red Sox had the off day yesterday after that tough weekend series against the Yankees.
Pop fly and a right that gets a push from the breeze. The catch made by Conti on to third Damon. The throw cut off. Johnny's at third with 2 outs. The Devil Rays are not a good defensive team. They've made 76 errors. Only the Royals and Tigers have committed more in the American League. Carl Crawford is the left fielder. Randy Wynn in center. Jason Conti in right. Jared Sandberg, Chris Gomez, Brent Abernathy, and Steve Cox. The infield from third to first, and Toby Hall is behind the plate. And the batter, Manny Ramirez, coming off his 2-homer game at the stadium on Sunday, giving him 14 for the year, 47 runs batted in, and a .332 average. Does not yet have enough plate appearances to qualify among the league leaders in batting average. He would be 3rd in the league with that .332 mark. Great race for the batting title right now in the American League. A 2-man race between Ichiro hitting .356 and Mike Sweeney hitting .355. Then you go all the way down to Jason Giambi at .319. Damon at third, 2 outs. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Tampa Bay. Steve Cox hit a 2-run homer. Chopped to short. A nice high hop for Gomez. And the Red Sox strand a runner in the first. After 1, 2-0 Devil Rays. Tonight on Fox 25 News at 10, it's not on the label, so how did it get in your dog's food? Fox Undercover found a deadly drug in several common brands of dog food. And if your dog is eating it, it could be making him sick. We'll tell you which brands are safe, which one could be dangerous to your dog. Tonight, after American Idol, which everybody will be tuned in to see on Fox 25 News at 10. Now, being the Rem Dog, is this a concern to you?
About some of the food? Yeah. It certainly is. Yeah.
I love the fact now that we actually get letters in the booth addressed to the Rem Dog.
The Rem Dog, yeah. I think the best one, though, was Mrs. Rem Dog and one of the pups.
Rem Pups. Did Mrs. Rem Dog and the Rem Pup have a nice time in New York?
They did. They actually tired themselves on Saturday. They were planning on going back shopping Sunday, but they decided to take an early shuttle home.
Lucky for you.
Yeah, you got that right, Sean.
Conti up there, 1-2 the count. Chris Gomez and Jared Sandberg to follow. Conti hitting .231 with 2 homers and 12 runs batted in. Now, will you not know the full extent of the damage until the credit card bill comes, or will they even hide that from you?
No, I won't even take a look at that.
Pulled down the line, trying to drift back toward the pole. It almost did. That breeze pushed that ball back toward fair territory. Usually when a left-handed hitter hits the ball down the right field line, it hooks, and that one was hooking off the bat, but the breeze counteracted the hook.
Pretty gusty out there in the early part of this ball game, and you're right, Sean, that ball almost got pushed back to the foul pole for the home run.
Pulled into the Red Sox dugout, 1-2. On the ground in the hole, a tough play for Nomar on the move. Offerman not in time. Good play of it by Offerman on the short hop, and certainly Nomar did everything he could do, but Conti has decent speed, and there was no chance to get him.
Yeah, plus Nomar was playing up the middle. Anytime Wakefield is pitching, they'll play those hitters to pull because of the lack of the velocity on the knuckleball. So a little bit of a long way to go for Nomar. Makes a good throw, a nice pick by Jose, but not quite in time to get Conti down that first baseline.
He has 2 stolen bases, has been thrown out twice trying to steal. The second hit for Tampa Bay, and here's Chris Gomez. Takes a curveball for a strike. .253 for Gomez, 7 homers and 29 runs batted in. He had a 2-run single on Sunday that ended an 0 for 9 drought. He's been a struggling hitter lately. 4 for his last 27. 1-1 now on Gomez.
Now this Tampa Bay club, 13th in the league in runs. The only team that has scored fewer runs, the Tigers, they are last in home runs. That's why that one by Cox in the first inning. The 75th of the season for the Devil Rays.
By comparison, the Red Sox have hit 99. Tampa Bay offense has come to life a little bit recently, actually quite a bit recently for Hal McRae. They scored 25 runs in the 3 games in Toronto. Unfortunately for the Devil Rays, though, they lost 2 out of 3. Lost 11-8 to the Jays on Friday night, 12-10 Saturday, and then beat Toronto 7-5 Sunday, ending the 13-game road losing streak, the longest in Major League Baseball since the Phillies. Lost 13 in a row on the road in 1997. The longest American League road losing streak since the Mariners dropped 13 in a row away from the Kingdome in 1991. They scored 25 runs in those 3 games in Toronto. In the 9 games prior to that, they scored a total of 17 runs. That's when you know it's not really going your way. When you score all those runs, you still lose 2 out of 3.
Well, we're talking last time we were down in Tampa, how many 1-run losses they had, especially late in the game. Now they go out and they score a bunch of runs and still have problems winning.
They're 2-12 in their last 14 1-run games. They've lost 15 of their last 17 games. And there have been 8 1-run losses in those 15. The runner goes to throw off the glove of Merloni into shallow center. Conti made no effort to get up and go. On to third. It's a stolen base, the second already for Tampa Bay. And when you're in their situation, excuse me, it was ball 4, so it didn't matter.
Maloney with his left hand on that base run of Conti just to make sure that he couldn't get up and go to third base.
You know, they had announced a stolen base over the press box intercom, but it was ball 4, so take the stolen base away. It's a walk. The second yielded by Wakefield.
The third baseman, Jared Sandberg.
Here's Jared Sandberg, 221, 7 homers and 19 runs batted in for the third baseman. In the dirt, and the runner takes off for third and makes it. Well, the Red Sox certainly very sloppy over the weekend in New York, and off to a little bit of a sluggish start here today.
Mirabelli having a difficult time handling the knuckleball. It just caroms a short distance away from him, but the runner at second base, Conti, with that good secondary lead, will be able to move up a bag, even though the ball didn't get that far away from Mirabelli.
Pass ball charged to Mirabelli. And a count of 2-0 now on Sandberg. Devil Rays with a 2-0 lead and looking to add to it. First and third, nobody out. Sandberg 0 for his last 16 with 7 strikeouts. 3-0. Wakefield questioning the home plate umpire Chris Guccione. Mike Everett, the umpire at first, Joe West at second, and Scott Packard calling the plays at third. Fastball, a strike. 78-mile-per-hour heater from Wakefield.
Now let's see now if they have Gomez running at first base on this 3-1 count. Try to keep some pressure on the Red Sox in Wakefield.
In the air in center, Damon drifting toward left. Conti tags. The throw from Damon, not in time. The sacrifice fly for Jared Sandberg. And a 3-0 lead for the Devil Rays.
Red Sox fortunate there that the runner at first base, Gomez, didn't tag and go to second. There was nobody in a cutoff position on the mound. Usually that's the responsibility of Jose Offerman, the first baseman, on a ball of center field, but it was wide open. Nobody there to cut the baseball off. But fortunately for the Red Sox, no advance from first base. Devil Rays do get a run, but the Red Sox able to keep the double play in order.
Gomez did go back, tag up. Apparently he wasn't aware of the lack of the cutoff man. You would think if they had seen that, he or the first base coach Lee May, he would have been off and running towards second.
He must have just missed it.
Carl Crawford, the number 9 man at the plate, hitting .286 in limited action at the major league level this season. 2 for 7.
The young prospect just recently recalled from AAA, 20 years old, second round pick in '99 for the Devil Rays.
The runner goes. It's a chopper to second. Merloni's play is at first for the second out of the inning. On to second base, Gomez. We're in the second inning, and Tampa Bay already with a 3-0 lead. Crawford's just happy to be here, happy to be in the big leagues, but also happy to be here. Apparently he was worried that he wouldn't be able to get out of Canada because he left his passport in Durham when he got called up to the majors in a hurry to go.
You can't even call that a rookie mistake, I guess. He just was so excited about getting to the big leagues. Last thing you think about is your passport.
Yeah, just get up and go. They call you, you go. Well, they have a chance to change their mind. Line to the left center. That's a hit for Randy Winn and another run for Tampa Bay. Gomez around to score. Winn tries for 2 and has a double. The throw gets away from Merloni, but it's backed up by Offerman. A double for Winn, his 30th of the year. He moves into a tie with Tim Salmon for 4th in the league in doubles. 6 behind the league leader Garrett Anderson.
Now the Devil Rays coming out and putting pressure right away on the Red Sox. Randy Winn, you know, a lot was made. Well, you have to pick somebody from every club, but this guy's had a terrific year at the top of the lineup for the Devil Rays. Picks up his 45th RBI of the season, and Tampa off very quickly in game 1.
Red Sox returning home, facing a team they've dominated in recent years, 8-0 against them this year. Trying to get back on the winning track and put the ugly memories of Saturday and Sunday in New York behind them, but this is not the start the Red Sox and their fans had envisioned to this one. Brent Abernathy walked and scored on the Cox homer last inning. Pops one up back here.
Because anytime you're playing a doubleheader, you're concerned about the pitching staff and how hard it has to be used. And Red Sox may be without Dustin Hermanson for this game today because of a laceration on his left elbow. That got infected and may not be able to pitch today.
In the air and right. Abernathy sends it to his good buddy Nixon. They don't like each other. Trud made the catch. That ends the inning, but the Devil Rays get 2 more. They lead 4-0 on the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Red Sox enter today's doubleheader season high 4 games out of first place. Mentioned they easily could have swept that series in New York and left tied for first. Instead, losing 2 out of 3 dropped them 4 games back. And they have also fallen out of the lead in the wild card race. The Angels a half game ahead of the Red Sox, and Oakland a half game behind Boston. Tanyan Sturtz threw a fastball for strike 1 to Shea Hillenbrand, hitting .306. Shea has 13 homers and 56 runs batted in. Some rare run support for Sturtz. Part of that 1-9 record, a lack of run support from his mates. And the offense for Tampa Bay particularly feeble against the Red Sox this year. This is the 9th game between these two teams. It's just the 2nd time that Tampa Bay has scored more than 3 runs in a game against the Red Sox this year. They scored 5 in a 7-5 Red Sox win on May 4th at Tampa Bay. The ball high.
Red Sox last night inviting some of the Devil Rays to the celebration here for Ted Williams, Hal McRae, Billy Hatcher was here, Lee May, Milt May.
Their owner, Vince Naimoli, was here. Chopped to short. And Gomez threw out Hillenbrand, 1 out. It was very nice of the Devil Rays to come. Charlie Slows, one of their broadcasters, was here. Here's a look at some of the scenes from last night. The flyover in the missing man formation in honor of Ted. Walt Dropo and Frank Malzone, Rico Petrocelli, Dwight Evans. Who's that guy? Jim Rice. Current day players led by Nomar. The touching moment when all the Red Sox players past and present placed roses around the number 9 in the left field. A lot of very nice touches to that ceremony last night. .271 the average for Brian Daubach as he heads into today's twin bill. 12 homers and 43 runs batted in.
Get involved in something like last night, Sean, and it makes you realize how lucky you've been to be able to play here, work here for a number of years, and also be in this baseball fraternity that we're in that I think everybody enjoys so much. It kind of really hits home on nights like last night.
I think Ken Burns, the filmmaker, said it best when he talked about, for people around the country and even here locally, so much of the attention when you think about the Red Sox on the curse of the Bambino, the ball through Buckner's legs, some of the negatives and the lack of a championship since 1918. But he talked about how much there has been to enjoy and all the great moments and the great players that we've been privileged to watch over the years. And that part of the history of the franchise really does not get enough attention, and you appreciate it more on nights like last night when you see so many of those great figures gathered in one place.
The good news is that I thought your arm was going to fall off when you were interviewing Ken Burns. It went on for a little while, and I saw you start to shake a little bit, but all that bicep work you do certainly helped out.
Helped. The shoulder was, there was a lack of blood racing up to my shoulder after a while, holding the mic for Ken while he gave his speech, and for Senator Glenn also, who gave a nice speech, but it's a long time to be holding the microphone with your arm fully stretched out. I was hoping nobody would notice that my face was shriveling up. Line to right by Offerman, and the catch made by Conti.
I'll tell you, the guy that always impresses me is Dominic DiMaggio. His speech I thought was terrific.
He was the best, wasn't he?
And he is such a gentleman, and it's the kind of guy you're around, you get chills when you're around him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's
classy guy.
Really is.
And a nice man.
Outstanding.
And he was the only person, for those who didn't watch it last night or weren't here, he was the only person who addressed all the controversy about Ted Williams since his death, what should happen with his body. Todd Nixon at 259 stands in.
Now, you could tell when he was making that, he was angry.
Yes. He made an impassioned plea to the children of Ted Williams to honor Ted's wishes and let him rest in peace. And obviously that was greeted with a rousing ovation from the crowd here last night. We also enjoyed the touch having Jack Fisher here, the man who gave up the home run to Ted in his last at bat. He was nice enough to come and stand out of the mound, as Curt Gowdy described that final day of Ted's career. There's another man that when he talks, you're captivated by listening to him, Curt Gowdy.
Very close, obviously, to Ted Williams, not only baseball, but fishing partners.
Mm-hmm. Line into right. That's a hit for Nixon. Dahlbach to second.
7 straight games now for Trot Nixon as far as a hitting streak goes. 391 coming into the game against Tanyan Sturritz.
Number 28, the catcher.
Nixon's got either some sweat in his eye, or maybe some of that eye black has run into his eye, which is not a good thing.
Well, a hot and sticky day here at Fenway Park. That's the first hit for the Red Sox. And here's the number 9 hitter, catcher Doug Mirabelli, hitting .216 with 5 homers and 11 runs batted in. Devil Rays lead 4-0. Red Sox trying to chip away at that deficit with 2 outs and 2 men on, and a strike on a fastball to Mirabelli. Doug did not have a hit on the road trip. He went 0 for 7. Check swing. It's a strike, says Chris Uccioni. Red Sox ownership last night also announced a couple of ways that they're going to honor the memory of Ted Williams here at the park, including the renaming of the 600 Club. Just below us, it is now the 406 Club. There's the 406 Club, just below the broadcast level. I believe it was named the 600 Club originally because there are 600 seats in there, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
In the dirt, it scoots away from Hall, and the runners move up. There are 2 men in scoring position now for Mirabelli.
Looked like it might have been the splitter that time from Tanyan Sturritz that bounces away from Toby Hall. And the Red Sox will get a couple of men in the scoring position. So a base hit, and the Red Sox right back in the ball game now.
It is a wild pitch, charged to Sturtz. 4-0 Devil Rays. 2 men in scoring position with 2 outs, and Mirabelli had something in his eye. If he could keep the inning going, Johnny Damon would hit next. Fans a little lethargic here at the outset, trying to spur on a rally. Hasn't been much to cheer for yet. There's a foul ball, and it's also hot. Usually out there baking in that sunshine, it's easy to be a little lethargic.
I don't think it's quite as bad as the last day-night doubleheader we had here at Fenway. I think there's a little bit better breeze. That last one we had, there was no breeze at all.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs and 2 men on. And the pitch to Mirabelli. Chopped to short. Gomez throws him out. The Red Sox have left 3 men in scoring position in the first 2 innings. After 2, 4-0 Devil Rays. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox Television Network.
He then finally rest in peace.
Those were the comments of Dominic DiMaggio as part of his eloquent speech last night. I think he spoke words that have been in the hearts and minds of a lot of Red Sox and Ted Williams fans. Tim Wakefield throws strike 1 to Steve Cox, who hit a 2-run homer in the first. The Devil Rays got 2 in the first and 2 more in the second. They're batting with a 4-0 lead. Cox waited on it, but popped it up. Ramirez near the number 9. It has been formed in the grass by the Red Sox ground crew. Orlando Araujo was actually warming up for a moment in the bullpen. That's why we're showing you him. He has taken a seat. Aubrey Huff flied to left in the first inning. Out of play to the left.
A couple of fly balls out in Manny's direction, and he's had a little difficulty with both of them, I think, with that breeze blowing out and also the sun involved today. And not easy for infielders and outfielders on the pop-up and fly balls.
Ball low, and a ball and a strike on Huff. Huff's been a hot hitter. He's 8 for his last 15 now. Up in Toronto, he had a stretch of 5 consecutive hits, starting in Friday night's game and continuing into Saturday's game. Spent much of the year at AAA Durham, but since coming up, he has basically been in the starting lineup every day. A full count now as Wakefield missed inside with a fastball. And he hits one in the direction of Manny, and not deep enough to get to him. It's Hillenbrand backpedaling onto the outfield grass. Two outs, and Wakefield with a shot at his first 1-2-3 inning.
Number 44, the catcher, Toby Hall.
Here's Toby Hall, who grounded to third to end the first inning. We talked about the ceremony last night, but I think also impressive was the fact that more than 12,000 people filed to the ballpark for the ceremony earlier in the day. And they could come in and walk around the park and look at some plaques and other artifacts from Ted Williams' career.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, a lot of fathers with their sons, mothers with their sons and daughters, you know, walking along and taking a look at some of that memorabilia that they had out in that left field wall. People seem to really enjoy that.
Line in a center, and that's a hit. 4 hits now for Tampa Bay. Hall's aboard with 2 outs.
Toby Hall just recalled at the end of June back to the major league level. He really struggled early in the season. Sent him back to AAA, played pretty good baseball, and in that span while he was gone, John Flaherty had the majority of playing time behind the plate. Now Hall getting most of the time.
Jason Conti had an infield single and scored last inning. Swing and a miss. Hall takes off late, and he is out. Garciaparra, a nice play to basically catch that throw on the run and get the tag down on Hall. That ends the inning. It's 4-0 Devil Rays.
Toby Hall trying to delay steal over at first base, which is a play very seldom used anymore. You usually try it with guys that don't run that well. Now watch, 3 steps, and when the ball gets by the hitter, that's when he takes off. And what he's hoping to do is catch one of the middle infielders with their head down. Nomar alert to the play, covers second base, and they get the out. That's when you try it, when there are 2 outs and those infielders are playing deep. It takes them longer to get to the bag. It's a good play. Didn't work that time, though, for the Devil Rays.
So it's still 4-0 Tampa Bay, and Johnny Damon begins the 3rd. Johnny walked, stole second, was stranded at 3rd in the 1st inning. Red Sox have left 3 men in scoring position in the first 2. All of them reached scoring position, however, with 2 outs. They haven't been able to get the clutch 2-out hit yet. Damon, Merloni, and Garciaparra against Sturtz, who's allowed just 1 hit. He has walked 2 and struck out 1. Ball 3. And a strike and a full count. This is the 3rd doubleheader of the season for the Red Sox. That's pulled down the right field line, and that one will go, a home run. Johnny Damon with his 7th home run of the season. Run batted in number 44. The Red Sox are on the board. It's 4-1.
Well, both home runs hit today going in that same direction down the right field line. Damon on a 3-2 fastball gets the head of the bat out. That is the 17th home run that Tanyon Sturtz allowed. That is the most on the staff for the Devil Rays.
Lou Merloni takes a strike. He struck out in the 1st inning. It's the first homer for Damon since July 5th. He took Mark Redmond of Detroit deep. Up and in. 1-1 on Merloni.
Remember last time Tanyon Sturtz pitched against the Red Sox, he had a 3-0 lead, and it was the home runs that got the Red Sox back in the ball game.
Including one by Merloni. Takes the ball low and away. 2 balls and a strike on Lou. In the hole under the glove of Sandberg. And in the left, Merloni's aboard. If they score that a hit, which undoubtedly they will, it's 1 for 2 for Lou against Sturtz, continuing his upper hand in their one-on-one battles.
Strange route to the baseball by Sandberg as he'll go back, and really it's tough to tell if the ball went under or over the glove. No, underneath the glove. He just kind of waved at it.
And that was the Olay maneuver there. Garciaparra fly to right in the 1st. Tying run in the on-deck circle now, a ball low. Omar at an even 300 for the year with the 0 for 1. Ball 0-2. Sturts from Worcester, went to St. Peter Marian High School. Fine basketball player in addition to his baseball exploits. Ball 3. Nomar has been a much better hitter this season with men on base, as is the case now. 359 with the runners on. He's at 245 when the bases have been empty. And the green light on 3-0, and he hits it high and deep to left, and that one makes it a one-run game. Over the screen for Nomar. All of a sudden he's on a home run tear. Hit 2 on Sunday. Adds another in his second at bat today. And a nice way to celebrate his 29th birthday with his 14th homer of the year. He now has 75 runs batted in.
Very seldom do we see Garciaparra swinging on a 3-0 count. He was 3 straight sliders and then the fastball on 3-0, and Nomar up over the screen for the home run.
Well, Dave Corris tells us that is the 22nd time Nomar has seen a 3-0 pitch this season, and it's the first one he has swung at.
A lot of times he doesn't even look down for a sign 3-0. He's just going to take all the way. But after 3 straight sliders from Tanyan Sturts, all for the ball, then he knew he was going to get a fastball 3-0, and he took care of business.
So very quickly a one-run game. A homer, a single, and a homer. Red Sox pounding the long ball the last 2 days at 5 on Sunday and 2 already today. Manny hit 2 of the 5 Sunday. He grounded to short to end the first inning today. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Devil Rays. 3 runs, 4 hits for Boston. And a ball. Sturts working behind in the count to just about every hitter. Down the right field line. And the fans saying it's a home run, and it is. Another of those balls down the right field line that looked like it would go foul. But the wind helped to straighten it out, push it back, make it a fair ball, and a home run. And based on the reaction, it looked like Manny was as surprised as anybody that that ball wound up in fair territory. Back-to-back homers, 3 home runs in the inning, and the game is tied at 4.
Manny outside fastball, thought for sure it was going to be foul, but again that wind taking over and pushing it back into fair territory. And of course, Ramirez happy about the results. Also the fact that Sturts drilled him last time they faced each other.
And Manny got hit twice in the last game against the Devil Rays. 3 homers in the inning. And it's a 4-4 tie. And they hit back-to-back home runs in the last Red Sox game on Sunday, so they've done it in consecutive games. The other 2 back-to-back homers this season for the Red Sox have been Dahlbach and Hillenbrand. Shea's at the plate right now with a count of 1-1. He grounded to short in the second inning. Ordinarily a ball off the bat of a right-handed hitter down that right field line would slice foul. That gusty breeze blowing at about 16 miles per hour helped to make it a fair ball.
This ballpark, Sean, along with Wrigley Field, depending on weather conditions, plays so differently than any other ballpark in baseball. I mean, we see that when that east wind's blowing early in the season, blowing in, it's tough to get one out of Fenway Park. That same thing happens in Chicago.
Ball 4, a miserable inning for Sturts. You can see after watching him pitch a couple times where he just causes so many problems for himself with the lack of control. Not only all the walks that we've chronicled, but he works behind the count to everybody.
And he's got a good split-fingered fastball, but when you're behind in the count, you can't use that pitch.
Number 23, the designated hitter.
It's the third walk already given up by Sturts. Still nobody out. Brian Daubach will be the 6th batter of the inning. Damon started the inning with a homer. Maloney singled. Garcia Parra homered. Ramirez homered. A walk to Hildenbrand, and now Sturts, who's thrown more balls than strikes today, turns his attention to Daubach. When he walked last inning, grounded to first, bobbled by Cox. He dives for Daubach, did not get him.
Well, he's rushing at first base because he wants to go 3-6-3 to try to get a double play, and he ends up getting nobody. Nice slide by Daubach. Now, this is when you should slide into first base. There's the ball getting away, puts it in the glove, tries to make the sweep tag, but Daubach with the head first slide around any tag. And the Red Sox keep this inning going. Still nobody out.
Al McRae has seen this film before. Offerman bunts, and Sturts flips to third for the out. I don't understand that play at all.
No.
Jerry, you get the guy on the ropes. He hasn't retired a batter in this inning, and you give him an out.
Exactly right. A nice play by Tanyan Sturts with that side-on flip, but you're right, Sean. I mean, there's been nothing close to an out, except with the exception of the error. Swing away. This could be a 10-run inning.
Exactly right. I mean, it is the third inning, too, on a day when it looks like there might be a lot of runs scored. My goodness. Offerman involved in a bad play trying to steal third in that game on Sunday that looked even worse when the Red Sox wound up blowing the game. We don't know if he was bunting on his own, but you would think that he was.
That's what you don't know, whether the sign was put on for a sacrifice or bunting on his own. We don't have the answer to that, but in either case happened, it's really not the play at this stage of the ball game.
No, absolutely not. First and second and one out. The Devil Rays say thank you very much. Sturts particularly grateful. Nixon the batter. He singled into right last inning. Sends that toward the left field corner. Crawford giving chase, and it is off the pads. Around to score Daubach. On to third Offerman. Nixon has a double. And the Red Sox lead for the first time today, 5-4.
Well, we mentioned Nixon had a 7-game hitting streak, but not a lot of hits in that span. But he's got 2 today so far, the single and now the double, the drive in a run. Nixon with his 50th RBI of the season. And there's still nobody warming down in that bullpen for Tampa. We talked about the day-night doubleheader. You got to try to save that bullpen somehow. So somebody's going to be out there for a while, and it looks like it's going to be Tanyan Sturts.
20 doubles and 50 runs batted in now for Nixon. It's the third straight game the Red Sox have had a 5-run inning. They have a chance to build on that total with 2 men in scoring position and 1 out. Mirabelli bangs one foul, almost got off of him.
And that's why you take your lead down at third base in foul territory. If Offerman's on that line or in fair territory, that ball hits him, he's out. You take your lead in foul territory, you come back on the line so the catcher doesn't have a good look at you down there at third base.
Fastball, foul tip for strike 2. It's been a frustrating time lately for Mirabelli with men in scoring position. On Saturday, a couple of times the Yankees pitched around hitters in front of Doug to load the bases and face him, and he ended each inning. And today he came up with 2 men in scoring position last inning and grounded out to end the inning and strand the runners. He hits that in the air high and deep to left center. Crawford looking up. That ball's off the top of the wall. It will score 2. Mirabelli digs for second and has a double. 7-4 Red Sox.
An 0-2 hanging breaking ball, a hanging slider by Tanyan Sturts, he gets ahead of a hitter finally, Mirabelli, and then makes a poor pitch 0-2, and Doug just missed a 3-run home run. No balls, 2 strikes, a high slider right here, and Mirabelli plants it right at the top of that left field wall to drive in a couple of runs, his 12th and 13th RBI of the season. And now finally some action down in the bullpen for the Devil Rays.
13 runs batted in now for Mirabelli. The Red Sox have batted around. Brandon Backey warming up in the bullpen. Johnny Damon took a strike. He started this inning with a home run to right. He walked and stole second in the first. Slashes one foul over the Tampa Bay dugout. A 7-run inning. Still just 1 out. The out the Red Sox gave Sturts on the attempted sacrifice bunt. That'll be a hit in right center. Mirabelli waved around, and he scores. It's an 8-4 Red Sox lead. Damon happy to be back at home after the difficult road trip. A perfect 2 for 2 with a walk today and 2 runs batted in.
Well, we said it might be a 10-run inning. It's 8 so far.
A 2-hit inning for Damon. An RBI with each hit in this inning.
Looks like Hal McRae looking out to that bullpen, see if his reliever is ready yet. He just got the sign now that he is ready.
Time called. Apparently something's come on the field. A beach ball back behind the plate. And Hal McRae will take advantage of the break to go out and get Sturts. Sturts departs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, having given up 8 runs, and he's responsible for Damon at first. Brandon Backey, the new pitcher. Home runs by Damon, Garcia-Parra, and Ramirez. Teeing this 3rd inning. The Red Sox lead 8-4. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Well, rough homecoming for Tanyan Sturts. The Worcester native pounded for 8 runs in this inning on 8 hits in all. Call the bullpen brought to you by Nextel Direct Connect. Get right through. Call 1-800-NEXTEL-9. The new pitcher is Brandon Backey.
Second appearance since being called up by the Devil Rays last Tuesday. He was at AA Orlando, where he worked both out of the bullpen and the starting rotation. His major league debut coming on Friday against Toronto. He's only in his 2nd year as a pitcher. They converted him from an outfielder.
Damon leads from first and draws the throw. Johnny stole second back in the 1st inning. 8-4 Red Sox. They led, rather trailed 4-0. We're taking the lead with 8 runs in this inning. Lou Merlone singled as the 2nd batter of the inning and scored on the Garcia-Parra homer. He pops that one straight up. Sandberg, the 3rd baseman, behind the mound for the out. A couple of those balls hit toward left field have called our attention to some new signage that have been debated for a while, talked about as a possibility, and it has happened. There is advertising now above the Green Monster with those banners attached to the screen.
Last night they were pitches of Ted Williams up in that area.
runs in an inning this season for the Red Sox. Garciaparra hits another one high and deep to left. That is going to be his second two-run homer of the inning. Maybe those new signs up there in that screen are magnetic.
Velcro. Have a birthday, Nomar. Not a bad start.
The 9th time in Red Sox history they've hit 4 home runs in one inning. And Nomar is at 2 of the 4 homers in the inning, both of them with a man aboard. And it's the second consecutive 2-homer game for Nomar. He did it on Sunday against the Yankees, and both home runs in this inning have cleared the screen.
A 3-0 fastball, that time a fastball again for the home run.
A 10-run inning for the Red Sox. 9 of the runs charged to Sturtz. Ramirez homered down the right field line right after the Garciaparra homer earlier in this inning. And he is the 13th batter of the inning. Nomar, the 3rd Red Sox player to hit 2 in an inning. Bill Reagan and Ellis Burks are the others. Ellis Burks did it in 1990. Bill Reagan did it in 1928. You never know what you're going to see when you come out to the ballpark, and history today.
Very quiet start. Red Sox trailing 4-0. Look hungover maybe from the weekend, and 10 quick ones here in the 3rd.
Chopper foul.
And by hungover, I mean losing the 2 out of 3 in New York.
Not an easy job managing this club. They are devoid of talent. Backey strikes out Ramirez to end a memorable inning. Biggest inning of the season for the Red Sox. They get a standing ovation as they return to the field. 10 runs in the inning. It's 10-4 Boston after 3.
Eyes of a
9 on Fox 25. Nomar, a superstar today. 2 two-run homers, highlighting the 10-run 3rd. 10 runs on 8 hits and 1 Tampa Bay error. Jim Wakefield was in the dugout for 28 innings. 28 innings. Seemed like 28 minutes during that inning. Ripped foul. Look out. Charlie Harper almost took that line drive off the bat of Jason Conti. Ooh. There's a strike on Conti. 1-2. He had an infield hit and scored in the 2nd. He was at the plate when Toby Hall was thrown out on that delayed steal to end the Tampa Bay 3rd. That does seem like 28 innings ago.
And that was a long one.
Yes, it was. And Wakefield happy to wait if he's going to get that kind of run support. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the day for Wakefield. 1 out here in the 4th inning.
Got Randy Wynn to start the game off with a knuckleball, and now Conti becomes the 2nd victim. Same pitch, knuckleball for the strikeout. Mirabelli with the larger catcher's mitt, able to handle that knuckleball.
Gomez took a strike. Chris walked and scored in the second. To the count. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wakefield.
Well, you just never know what the knuckleball is going to do. Now, on the strikeout to Conti, it just dropped. This time, the knuckleball stayed upstairs. They say when it's high, let it fly. Gomez let it fly, but no contact.
Sandberg.
That's a great shot, that close-up shot. You see almost no rotation at all of the seams on that baseball.
Strike to Jared Sandberg. He had a sacrifice fly. And he pops this one up. Nomar way out. Finally peels off for Manny. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Wakefield. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Time for League Leaders, brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. Team pitching hit batsman the category. The Red Sox and Devil Rays 1 and 2. And part of the reason for that might be they spent a lot of time hitting each other. League average 39. Both teams way above that average. In the National League, lower totals. A lot of people will tell you that's because the pitchers hit. Philadelphia league leading 43 batters hit. Red Sox also led the league last year in hit batsmen. Shea Hillenbrand took a ball outside. Shea walked during the 10-run third inning. Grounded out in the second. A pop-up. Gomez, the shortstop. A couple of other notes on that 10-run inning. It is the 28th time the Red Sox have scored 10 or more runs in an inning. That's the high total in Major League Baseball. They've had more 10-run or more innings than any team in baseball history.
The designated hitter, Brian.
It's the first double-digit inning they've had since June 26th of 1999, when they scored 11 runs here at Fenway in the first inning against Chicago on their way to a 17-1 win. It is the 10th time the Red Sox have scored exactly 10 runs in one inning. And the Red Sox are researching to find out the last time they had 4 home runs in one inning. Dave Corris tells us it was July 3rd, 2000. They don't need to do the research. They can just call Dave.
Right.
Dave knows all. Who was that against, Dave? At Minnesota, Everett, O'Leary, Burkhart, and Veritek.
Nice job, Dave.
And if we kept asking Dave questions, he would know the answers. Gomez, the catch. Do we know what inning it was in that game, Dave? I'd like to test Dave. He's so good. Dahlbach out. He's 0 for 2 with a walk now.
It's coming.
I think we stumped Dave. I'm going to keep going for the final score. Who the pitcher was or pitchers were. We got all kinds of questions. We can really find out just how much Dave knows about this game. Offerman takes the ball low. He is lined to right and reached on a fielder's choice. But he tried to bunt last inning, I think. If he had it to do over again, he probably wouldn't. There's a base hit in the right. It was the 4th inning of that game, Dave tells us, at the Metrodome. 3 of them were hit off, in the words of Dave, some guy named Winkin. I don't remember him.
Brad Winkin? Probably.
Probably.
We'll give you one probably.
The right fielder.
Who was the other one hit against? Some guy named Ryan.
Wouldn't be BJ right now.
No, I don't think we did that game, Jerry. I think that must have been a Nesson game. Red Sox won at 11-8.
Yeah.
It was on Nesson.
It was on Nesson. I remember nothing about it.
Nixon takes a ball, trots 2 for 2. He singled in the 2nd, doubled a drive in a run, and scored during the 3rd. Everybody in the lineup scored in the 3rd with the exception of Hillenbrand. He was the guy erased at 3rd, and Hoffman tried to punt. Damon and Garcia Parra scored twice in the inning.
Dave tells me that Morgan Burkett was just recently called up to the Red Sox.
At that game.
Yes.
July 3rd, 2000. When they blasted 4 homers in an inning against Winkin and Ryan. I don't remember either one of those guys. Grounded foul.
Well, it's pretty much what you expected here this afternoon on a hot, humid day with the wind gusting out towards center field. These are the kind of days that hitters' eyes light up here at Fenway Park.
Oh, Lincoln.
Oh, Mike
I thought you
Lincoln.
said Winkin. Mike Lincoln.
I
do
remember Mike
him.
Lincoln, yeah.
I have to turn up the miracle here today, Jerry. Lincoln. Mike Lincoln.
Yeah, so there was no such guy as Brad Winkin. There could have
Did you
been.
think he said Winkin?
Well, no, I didn't hear him. You said Winkin.
Yes, I thought that's what Dave said.
Lincoln makes sense. I remember Mike Lincoln.
Ryan's first name was Jay. Now, I do not remember him.
I don't remember him either. I would have to say that neither one of them are pitching in the big leagues right now.
I don't believe that either is. Lincoln was, at that time, considered a prospect.
Yes.
He was a young guy who had come up and thought he had a pretty good future.
Yeah, he and Chad Allen, I think, came up at the same time. So I remember watching the news, and they were doing a nice story on some of the younger players, and Mike Lincoln was one of those guys involved.
All of a sudden, you're Mr. Flashback here. You were the only one of us on this telecast who was at the game.
I don't remember anything, but now that he mentions the name, I do remember that feature they did.
They had a 9-run inning that day. Didn't match the 10 they had today. One statistical oddity, little baseball scoring factoid from last inning. Backey came in, gave up a home run. Now, there should have been 3 outs in the already. Ordinarily, that would be an unearned run, but in a situation like this, he gets charged with an earned run individually, but the team has it charged as an unearned run. There's a base hit past the lunge of the first baseman, Cox. Hoffman waved around, and he will score. And the Red Sox lead 11-4 on Nixon's 3rd hit of the day, his 2nd double and 2nd run batted in.
Well, 2 very quick outs for Backey in this inning, both pop-ups to shortstop, but then Offerman with a hard ground ball to the right of Steve Cox. And now Nixon to his left, right down the line, and certainly deep enough and far enough down in right field. It'll get Offerman all the way home. So Nixon off to a terrific start, 3 for 3. And this only the 4th inning. Maybe Trot thinks this is the Tigers we're playing today.
11-4. Now, this is where they should invoke one of our rules. Stop hitting, or say, okay, everything we score from here on in, we're going to carry over to the next game of the doubleheader. I think when there's a doubleheader, you should be able to do that.
I think you just pass on your at-bats unless you need them. You stay out in the field, get as many outs as you can, and if they come back and you need your outs, then you can regroup at any time. We'll take our 7 outs that we passed on. And
wouldn't that be a good thing, though? Like, say the Red Sox say, okay, we'll take 11 right now, and we'll hold on 11. and any runs that we score from here on out in this game, we will apply toward the next game. And if Tampa Bay comes back and scores 12, you lose this game. But you start tonight with the lead. Mirabelli with another ball to the wall. Nixon scores. It's 12-4. Second double in as many innings for Mirabelli. He's driven in 3 today. Excuse me, stopped at first. Thought he was going to go for 2. Stopped at first. And here comes the pitching coach, Jackie Brown. Well, Brandon, you know, this is the way the day's going, buddy. Someone needs to stay out here and take one for the team. It's going to be you, so hang with him.
Not a lot of experience at this either. We mentioned the fact that just a couple of years ago was an outfielder in the Tampa organization, switched to pitcher.
Three straight hits off Backey. A single by Offerman, a double by Nixon, and a single off the wall by Mirabelli, his second hit and third RBI. So a lot of the Red Sox fattening up their stats here today, including the man at the plate, Damon, who was walked, stolen a base, homered and singled, driven in 2, and scored 2. He's been above 300 virtually the whole year for his batting average. The recent lengthy slump dropped him below 300, but a chance to climb back up there. Keep your eye on this ball, because every ball hit along that line today has drifted back toward fair territory, but that one stayed foul. 12-4 Red Sox. Damon is 2 for 2 with the walk. Garciaparra 2 for 3 with a pair of 2-run homers. Ramirez has hit a solo homer. Nixon's 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a single, 2 runs batted in and 2 runs scored. Mirabelli 2 for 3, a double single, 3 ribbies and a run scored. A ball and 2 strikes on Damon.
Derek Lowe, who is starting the second game for the Red Sox, may not even be at the ballpark yet, but if he is, he'd like them to save some runs.
Yeah. Invoke the rule. We'll stick on 11. Little flare in shallow left, and it drops. And then Gomez and Crawford lost control of the ball. The throw to third, not in time. Mirabelli slides in safely. Damon winds up at second. Everything going the Red Sox way right now.
Now, I don't think Gomez, the shortstop, saw this ball off the bat, because he got a very late jump on it, and he may have even lost it in the sun. He had his sunglasses down, but he was not even close to it, and he's really the only guy that had a chance. There you can see him right there, and trying to block the sun with his glove.
Well, it's a tough scoring decision there. That really should just be a single.
I would think it'd be a single and an error, because he knocks the ball right there out of the glove.
Give it to Gomez. He pulled the ball right out of Crawford's glove. You can't blame Crawford for that. That should be a single and an error on Gomez, I would think. I'm sure Charlie Scoggins is watching the replays. He's the official scorer. Does a terrific job here at Fenway. Merloni 1 for 3. He singled and scored in the third. Scored on the first of the 2 homers in the third inning by Garciaparra. Red Sox have 13 hits now in the 5th inning. They're also wondering the most runs Red Sox have ever scored in an inning was 17 runs against Detroit, June 18th of 1953. Here at Fenway in the 7th inning of that game. It is the American League record. Apparently they just gave Damon a double, so they have not posted an error. Close, but a ball. And there's Garciaparra on deck. Lou could get on. Nomar would have a crack at his 3rd homer of the day. Perhaps with the bases loaded, if Maloney walks, he swings away and fouls it into the roof boxes on the right. And a diving catch made by a fan who had a cup in one hand, so he made a one-handed catch while lunging over a couple of his fellow spectators. Nice to meet you. How are you? Apparently he's with their group.
If not, he is now.
The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Backey agitated. Threw a couple of close pitches to Maloney and didn't get either one of them. So here is Nomar. It's already been a memorable day. 2 homers last inning. He gets a standing ovation from many of the fans here, and now a chance to do something really memorable. Hit his 3rd homer of the day. If he could do it, it would be a grand slam. It would give him 8 runs batted in for the day. Red Sox lead 12-4. That might have been a pretty good pitch to wail on there.
That completely fooled Nomar. You can see him jumping back from that breaking ball.
There's a hanging breaking ball. A strike in the upper part of the strike zone. A ball and a strike.
Hal McRae looks like he does not want to look. Nope, yeah, he will peek up.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Backey's 1-1 to Garciaparra in the dirt. Blocked by Hall. Tanyon Sturts, the starter, pitched 2 1/3 innings. He gave up 9 runs, 7 earned. On 8 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. He threw a wild pitch. Nomar was shot at his 2nd 3-homer game of his career. Trying to check his swing. That's the kind of swing, half swing, that makes you think his wrist must be pretty well healed. That's the kind that would hurt it.
Sean, that 3-home run game, 2 of those were grand slams.
You remember that one?
Thank you, Dave.
I thought you might have cheated. He rips one high and deep to left. Grand slam, 3rd over the screen today for Garciaparra. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in on his 29th birthday for Nomar Garciaparra. It is 16-4 Red Sox.
Got a hang of that time again, and again, no question about this. He is on a home run tear.
Happy birthday, Nomar. This is a birthday he'll never forget. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in, 2 homers in an inning, both of them 2-run homers. Now a grand slam. It's still just the 5th inning. Crowd wants him to come back, and he obliges. Five homers in his last 2 games for Garciaparra. And Hal McRae decides that's enough punishment for Backey, as he has given up 7 runs now in an inning and a third. Wow. Steve Kent trotting in from the bullpen.
In the ball game, Steve Kent, a Rule 5 pitcher who was picked up from the Anaheim Angels. Anaheim took him in that Rule 5 draft from Seattle, and then eventually coming to Tampa Bay. 23rd appearance of the season.
You must be thinking, why me right now? A 10-run inning in the third, followed by a 6-run inning here in the fourth. The Red Sox have batted around for the second straight inning. They sent 13 men up there in the third. Ramirez, the ninth batter of the fourth. Backey gave up 7 runs on 6 hits in an inning and a third. To a walk and a strikeout, and allowed 2 home runs. Ramirez lines out to end the inning. But another memorable inning on a day Nomar Garciaparra will never forget. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in 4 innings on his 29th birthday. An exciting day for the Red Sox and their fans. And Nomar Garciaparra working on something truly special. 3 homers, 8 runs batted in just 4 innings. 2 2-run homers in the same inning and a grand slam in the next inning on his 29th birthday. It's also a special day for Dave Boo Ferris, former great Red Sox pitcher. Carl Crawford bounces one down to first, Offerman to Wakefield. Safe. Crawford hustled down the line and beat it. We welcome Mr. Ferris to the booth. Congratulations. Red Sox just announced today that you are going to take your well-deserved place in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. What a great honor.
Well, I really am honored. I just overwhelmed when Lou called me about it a few weeks ago, and I just great. That's it. Red Sox has been such an important part of my life, and I'm thankful for my years here, and just overwhelmed.
Well, I was looking at the numbers, and in 1946 you made 35 starts with 26 complete games.
Yeah, he gave you the ball, and Joe Cronin gave it to you. You're supposed to go 9. You didn't look toward the bullpen. And if you didn't complete 9, even if you won, you thought maybe you didn't have too good a day. It's a little different than it is today.
Oh, it sure is.
A little more specialized today than that.
Oh, yeah. Some folks asked me, said, did they have a closure in your day? I said, closure? I said, how you spell it?
Are you amused today when you watch all of this micromanaging of the game and the middle relievers and the pitch counts and that sort of thing?
Well, it's certainly a different day. It sure is. But, you know, I guess all our sports have become specialized and such, and they play the percentages maybe such and all. But I still enjoy watching. There's some great players, and I'm just happy to always get back up here and see a game on Old Fenway. It's the greatest place in the world.
You've been here for a couple of memorable days, too. The event honoring Ted Williams last night. And what you're watching today is pretty impressive.
Oh, my gosh, I guess it is. Great to see this ball sailing out of here, and we're out in front. Oh, it was great last night. I was coming anyhow until I had a call from the Red Sox and invited me. And just to pay respects to Ted. He meant so much to my life, and I'm thankful for my almost 11 years with him, and my playing and my coaching days here. And I was fortunate to see a lot of his greatest feats. And, you know, we talked about Ted all day, as
yeah.
he did all last evening.
Stolen base during the strikeout. Crawford, actually, they ruled it defensive indifference. So no stolen base. They let Crawford go to second. An infield hit and defensive indifference. Wynn strikes out. It's the 4th strikeout for Wakefield. And the first out of the 5th inning. Red Sox leading 16-4. We're chatting with Boo Ferris, who will be inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame on November 14th at the Heinz Convention Center here in Boston. He joins Fred Lynn, who has already been named to the class of 2002, and there will be other names released later on by Luke Orman and the Red Sox Hall of Fame committee. Fly ball to center by Abernathy. And the catch made by Damon for the second out. On to third goes Crawford.
The 6 seasons with the Red Sox, Boo, and most of the time as a starting pitcher, but you did have some appearances out of the bullpen. Obviously, you enjoyed starting more than the bull. In those days, in the bullpen, that's when you're the pitching batter. You're in trouble with the manager, right?
Well, maybe not exactly, but could be somewhat. But you know, I love starting, and of course, I suffered that arm injury pitching out in Cleveland and a 1-0 win in July of '47, and my arm was quite never the same. So came back and pitched pretty well, and then in '48 I was starting and relieving some, so I did a good bit of relieving. And a game I love to talk about is the last game of the season when we had to beat the Yankees.
Cox hits a fly ball toward the triangle. Damon still going and catches it about 415 feet away from home plate. Stay with us if you will. We'll finish the story when we come back. That's the end of the inning. It's 16-4 in favor of the Red Sox. 16-4 Red Sox. Bottom of the fifth. We're visiting with Dave Boo Ferris, named Red Sox Hall of Famer. He'll be enshrined in November, and you were starting to tell us about a game that jumps out for you against the Yankees.
Oh yeah, well, we had to beat the Yankees, and we hoping Cleveland was going to get beat by Detroit, and so things are really hopping at Fenway that day. Place was packed, and I came in about the 6th inning and maybe up a run or so, and 1 out, 1st and 3rd, and Bauer, DiMaggio, and Keller coming up. So you don't forget those moments. But I guess if it hadn't turned out good, we wouldn't talk about it.
Hillenbrand lines one up the middle. Might have deflected off the glove of the pitcher Kent. Abernathy throws him out.
And Bill, you spent a long time after your playing days as a college coach.
Right, I was at Delta State University, Division II in Cleveland. Cleveland's a city of about 16,000 just south of Memphis, and we've had a real fine program there for many years, and we're back in the Division II World Series this year for the 8th time. And so I still enjoy being around it, and that was a great experience, enjoyable and rewarding, coaching college baseball.
And you had a number of players who went on to play professionally and coach.
Yeah, I had about, I don't know, 25 or 30 who signed pro, and several of them played in the major leagues. Larry Lyons, I guess, played maybe the longest, 5 or 6 years, mostly with the Mets, back up to Carter there for a number of years. And relief pitcher pitched here in Fenway with the Angels. He was set up for Donnie Moore back in the 80s. One of those new things in baseball, set up, and Donnie Moore would close it out. So that was Stuart Clyburn. So anyhow, but college baseball is just great to see it come as far as it has, and turning out the byproduct, you might say, of professionals. The majors depending more and more here in recent years on the college players, where there's so many top programs around the country.
Steve Kent, the third pitcher of the day for Tampa Bay, pitching to Brian Daubach, and the count is 3-1. Daubach's had a relatively quiet day given everything that's gone on here today. He has walked, reached on an error, and popped out. He scored after reaching on the error by Cox during the 10-run third. Pulls that over by the Red Sox dugout.
This is one of those pitchers' nightmares when you come to Fenway Park on a day like this with the wind blowing out strong to center field.
Yeah, you know, as pitchers, when we walked on the field at Fenway, you look at that flag. But, you know, I've seen some 1-0 games here with the wind blowing out. So, you know, baseball is baseball. You never know what's going to happen. That's what helps to make it a great game.
Daubach strikes out for the second out of the inning. Let's pause for station identification along the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Number 30, the first baseman.
16-4, the Red Sox lead on their way to making it 9 wins in as many games against the Devil Rays this season. With the nightcap to come, it's a split doubleheader. They'll empty out the ballpark after this one, clean it up, and bring the folks who are coming for the night game back in. Derek Lowe will pitch against Paul Wilson at 7 o'clock on NESN.
Looks like you're looking out there for some thunderstorms, Bill.
Well, I've been watching that forecast, so I was wondering.
Offerman lines out, and that ends the inning. It's the first 1-2-3 inning for the Tampa Bay pitchers today. Fu, congratulations. We said very well deserved, and we appreciate the visit.
Well, thank you, Sean. Fine. Always good to be here.
Thank you.
Willie Banks
Jerry.
will come in to pitch for the Red Sox when we go to the 6th. Back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox lead 16-4. Nomar Garcia-Parra with 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. Pair of 2-run homers in the same inning. The 3rd inning, the Red Sox scored 10 runs and a grand slam in the 4th. He is the first player in Major League Baseball history to hit 3 home runs in a game on his birthday. Nomar 29 today. Willie Banks, the new pitcher.
Banks making his 15th appearance. He worked twice on that last road trip for the Red Sox. His most recent outing on the 16th of July against the Tigers, an inning and 2/3 in that game, allowing 1 hit and a couple of strikeouts.
Greeted by Aubrey Huff, the DH, who went 0 for 2 against Wakefield. There's a strike. Wakefield went 5 innings. He was eligible for the win. Swing and a miss. One and 2. Huff, Hall, and Conti due up. Fly ball to right. Routine play for Nixon. As routine as it can be on a sunny day with the wind blowing pretty hard. Friends, each time a Red Sox player hits a home run, completes a double play, or throws a strikeout, Hood will make a donation to a children's hospital in New England as part of the Hood Home Team Advantage charity program. So lots of cash going to charity today, courtesy of the nice folks at H.P. Hood. Hall is swinging a miss. And he is grounded out and singled. Garcia-Parra, by the way, the 4th player this season to hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. Mike Cameron and Brett Boone of Seattle and Jared Sandberg of the Devil Rays. The others. 0-2 the count. Pop fly. Shallow center taken in by Damon. 2 outs. Tim Wakefield's pitching line,
Number 4.
brought to you by Lowe's, improving home improvement. He went 5 innings and allowed 5 runs, gave up 4 runs. They were all earned. Walked 1, struck out 4, and threw 68 pitches. Banks throws out Conti. That ends the inning. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Willie Banks. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 16-4, the Red Sox. Time to go around the bases, brought to you by Budweiser. The head of the Players Association, Donald Fear, As deny a report in the Los Angeles Times yesterday that the Players Association has set a strike date. It had been reported that they'd set a strike date in mid-September, but Fehr says that is not true. No strike date has been set. Tampa Bay pitchers might want to go on strike.
Now, Bud Selig,
this thing has gone today.
who was here last night, also had no knowledge of that. He said, no, that's not accurate. And of course, that statement made today by the union. Nomar has not been on strike, that's for sure.
No. Nomar today has become the 5th player in Major League Baseball history to hit 3 homers in consecutive innings. The first since Andres Galarraga in June of 1995. The last American League player to hit 3 homers in consecutive innings was Carl Reynolds of the Chicago White Sox, July 2nd of 1930. So Nomar did something here today that has not been done in the American League in 72 years.
He now, too, with the 8 RBIs so far in this game, has 81 now in the season, which puts him 3rd. A-Rod leads at 83, Giambi with 80, and then Nomar.
Check swing roller over the second base bag. Gomez, the shortstop, throws out Nixon.
All right, go ahead. Get out my math.
Give that to me again.
No.
Now, Nomar had 73.
He's
He
got
has
8 today. That's 81.
That gives him 81.
That puts him 2nd in the league.
Okay, that's where you lost me.
Okay.
Because you said he was 3rd with 83 and 80, but he has 81.
I was incorrect. He is now 2 behind A-Rod, who has 83, then Nomar,
All right.
and then Giambi.
That's... I had the calculator out. I was doing the whole thing.
I got one of those looks, you know, and I've gotten accustomed over the last, what, 6-7 years for that look, and I know when I really messed up.
Oh, we've had 1 or 2 of those today, too. Like when Mirabelli was up earlier, I thought it was a double. You start pointing at first base. He's on first base. So, yeah, that would not be a double. Sometimes the
problem
mind
is,
gets
though,
ahead of the mouth.
When I get the look from you, I'm not quite sure what my mistake is. You know, it could be anything from grammar to math.
Oh, no, not grammar. You are a grammarian without parallel. Mirabelli, 2 for 3. He has doubled and singled, driven in 3 and scored twice. And he fouled one that hurt down off his leg or foot.
It's got to be tough today for those catches, Toby Hall and Mirabelli behind home plate, along with the umpire with all the equipment on this hot, humid day. And now fouls one off his foot. And generally, that area right at home plate, you don't get much of a breeze, especially when it's blowing out towards center field. It's knocked down by this high section behind home plate. So it's a little toasty down in that area.
Toasty in the booth.
Get that AC blasting too, but
Doesn't help.
Doesn't help in the window.
Open window. Steve Kent's pitched well. And he's retired all 5 men he has faced. He's gone to a full count with Mirabelli. 16-4 Red Sox in the 6th. He joined us late. The Red Sox fell behind 4-0 after 2 innings, and then erupted for 10 runs in the 3rd and 6 more in the 4th. Ball 4. That's the first base runner against Kent. We had Boo Ferris with us last inning. He'll be going into the Red Sox Hall of Fame on November 14th. If you'd like more information on the Red Sox Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony and dinner, which is open to the public, you can call 617-439-7700. 617-439-7700.
That's always a nice affair.
Great. Lou Gorman does a fabulous job.
Really do a
Red
terrific
Sox Hall
job
of
with
Fame.
that.
Johnny Damon needs the triple to hit for the cycle. I haven't had much happen today. Maybe Johnny could hit for the cycle to give us something to talk about.
So they did give him the double in the 4th then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gave him a double. I don't think it should have been a double. He'll hit one in the triangle and keep running, Johnny.
Well, Johnny Damon does lead the American League with 7 triples, I should say. So he does have a chance.
Yeah, hit one in the triangle, hit one down that right field wall, and hit a wall hugger. One-two pitch.
Triple.
Fly ball to left. Fall down. Two outs. Of course, I think the one record in baseball that's going to stand forever is your 6 hits in a game. Red Sox team record.
6 singles.
6 singles in one game. But it's also the record for hits.
Is it?
In a game, I believe. Now you're sending me back to the media guide.
Well, Nomar's got a pretty good chance to beat it today. Well, let's see. He's 3 for 4.
Yeah, he'd have to come up with 3 more hits. May not get that many at bats. They're not going to bat in the 9th.
And they're not singles either today.
No. He's probably hit 1,300 feet worth of home runs today, too. I mean, they've all cleared the screen. And they estimated the first one at 415 feet. We didn't get the other 2 estimates, but we'll work on that because we like to keep Dave Bauman busy up here.
Well, that's because that last one hit a cab on the Mass Pike, and it's still going.
Merloni is singled and walked. He has scored on 2 of the 3 homers by his good buddy Nomar, who's on deck. Little pop fly, shallow right. Conti drops the ball, and it rolls a long way behind him. Mirabelli around to score. Merloni winds up at 3rd. Well, it's a sunny and windy day, and Conti botched the fly ball. 17-4 Red Sox.
Nothing has been routine in the outfield today because of the sun and the wind, and you can see the sun shining off those glasses. He just overruns the ball. The wind pulls it back toward his right, and now he's going to chase it back toward the bullpen area. Era on the right fielder, and here comes Garciaparra again.
Aaron Conti, 2nd error of the day for Tampa Bay. It's an unearned run, no RBI. Here's Garciaparra with a chance to hit his 4th homer of the day. Ripped one foul. Nomar fly to right in the 1st. In his first at bat of the 3rd, he hit a 2-run homer. He came up again in the 3rd and hit another 2-run homer. He hit a grand slam in the 4th. No Red Sox player has hit 4 homers in a game. It's happened twice in baseball this year. Mike Cameron and Shawn Green. Five homers in consecutive games now for Garciaparra. Shawn Green did that earlier this year, May 23rd and 24th. Edgar Martinez, the last American League player to do that. He did it in 1999. And pitching carefully to him. That elicits some boos. Last Red Sox player to have 5 home runs over 2 games in a row. Carl Yastrzemski in 1976. 3-1 pitch. He walked him.
All the fans are standing here at Fenway. They're not very happy with the walk.
We talked about all the bad blood between these 2 teams, and we showed you at the top of the telecast a lot of the episodes that have taken place. This is the best way to respond when a team that you think has done some stuff that's really uncalled for.
And there has been none of that so far in this game today.
And very out of character for the Devil Rays. Usually, the first time it starts to go poorly for them, they're not capable of responding by winning. They like to drill guys on the Red Sox.
Yeah, Grady Little made a good point too after that last series, saying that you'd always try to teach pitchers to throw inside, and a lot of young pitchers can't do that.
Manny lines one. That ball is off the ladder, and it caroms toward the corner. A long way to run for Crawford. It's a double for Ramirez. It brings in Merloni, and the Red Sox lead 18-4. Second hit of the day for Manny. He hit a solo homer right after Nomar's first home run. Manny's now 2 for 5 with 2 runs batted in. Garciaparra went to third. Hal McRae on his way to the mound. There'll be another pitching change. So it was going well for Kent, and he should have been out of this inning unscathed, but the drop fly ball has opened the door for 2 runs and perhaps more with 2 more men in scoring position. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. Shea Hillenbrand.
Elks making his 11th appearance. He was recalled back at the end of June 25th from AAA.
Slings it wide, 2-0. Hillenbrand 0 for 3 with a walk. Must be a lonely feeling today with 18 runs on the board and 15 Red Sox hits.
Almost seems like there's somebody, Sean, in a game like this in the lineup that takes the collar. Hopefully it will not be Shea Hillenbrand today.
Well, Nomar's hogged it all for himself today. Actually, that's not true. But he's done a lot of it himself. Shea chased a bad ball for strike 2, 2-2.
Travis Phelps worked in a game against the Red Sox when they were in Tampa Bay, gave up a home run to Trot Nixon in that ball game. He's given up home runs in back-to-back outings.
Way outside. Glenn Wilburn been busy on the press box PA today making announcements about Nomar's day. We mentioned earlier he's the only player who's ever hit 3 homers on his birthday. He's also the only player in Major League history who's ever hit a grand slam
on his birthday.
Having done all that today. Strike 3. Hillenbrand upset, and he's barking at Chris Guccione as he walks off. Red Sox get 2 unearned runs. After 6, it's 18-4. (18-4) Red Sox. First batter of the 7th is Chris Gomez. He looked at ball 1. Gomez walked and scored in the 2nd. They haven't scored since the 2nd. He struck out in the 4th against Tim Wakefield. Fly ball to right. Just about the spot where Conti had trouble with the fly ball last inning. Nixon makes the catch.
Grady Little generally makes out 2 different lineups on these double headers, and certain guys will play both games. Some guys will have the day off, and we see nobody being taken out with this large lead. So apparently he's going to stick with the game plan. A lot of times you get this lead, you might get a few guys out of there and then play them again tonight, but apparently that's not going to happen. I'm sure you'll see Sanchez tonight. You'll see Veritek tonight. And giving Nomar second games of doubleheaders off, and we'll see if he does that here today.
I wouldn't. He just had an off day yesterday. Garciaparra throws out Sandberg. This guy's on a tear. You're starting to fall behind. You're a greater distance behind than you've been at any point this season.
I wouldn't call it a tear, Sean. He's only got 3 home runs and 8 RBI today.
And 2 in the last game.
The left fielder.
That's right, 2 on Sunday, right?
Crawford.
It's getting better with age.
Yeah.
We're going to get an update from Kevin Lemanowitz at the end of the inning. For those of you watching on Fox 25.
Don't tell me.
Let's hope he has some good news for us about that severe weather that's been predicted today. Crawford chops one foul down to Lee-May. Whoops.
What a ball player he was, Lee-May. Oh, he made the right choice, didn't he?
Hillenbrand throws out Crawford just in the nick of time. Let's get that update now. Score after 6.5 is 18-4 Red Sox. You're watching the Fox 25 Red Sox television network. And here is Kevin Lemanowitz. Seventh inning stretch, 18-4 Red Sox in the first of this split doubleheader. We'll check the scoreboard. Not a lot to tell you about, quite frankly, because most of the rest of the action is tonight, including all of the action in the American League. The Yankees are at the Indians. Andy Pettit and Danny Baez will be the starters. Big series out in Anaheim ongoing. Oakland and the Angels. Barry Zito and Kevin Appier. Dahlbach, the batter, lines one toward the wall in the left, and that ball is about 2/3 the way up. Dauber's going to try it, and he is not going to make it. And it's a single for Dahlbach, his first hit of the day. And he's thrown out on a nice play by Crawford. Rest of the schedule tonight in the American League, the Blue Jays are at the Orioles. Chris Carpenter against Travis Driscoll. The Blue Jays won 8 of their last 10. The Royals and the Tigers, Jeff Suppan and Mark Redmond. The Twins and the White Sox, Johan Santana against Mark Burley, who'll be looking for his 13th win. And the Rangers and the Mariners, Valdez and Moyer are the starters. Offerman takes the ball low. Over the National League, the only other game underway in the majors right now, the Phillies and Cubs tied at 2. They're in the 4th. Fred McGrispin on a home run tear. He's hit another one today, his 21st. Offerman with a well-hit ball to center. The edge of the warning track, the catch made by Wynn. 2 outs. Rest of the National League action is under the lights. The Braves and the Marlins. Going to be Tom Glavine against Julian Tavarez. The Pirates and the Reds, Kip Wells and Jimmy Haynes, the starters. The Expos at the Mets. Colon against D'Amico. The Brewers and the Astros, Wright versus Monroe. The Dodgers take on the Padres, Ashby and Tomko. The Rockies at the Diamondbacks, Thompson versus Anderson. And the Cardinals and Giants, the pitching matchup there, Morris versus Schmidt. And that's your scoreboard, brought to you by your friendly New England Dodge dealers. And of course also on the schedule tonight, Red Sox and Devil Rays at 7 o'clock here at the Ancient Ballpark with Paul Wilson and Derek Lowe, your starters. They'll be on Nesson. And I didn't like the looks of that radar, Jerry, that Kevin Lemanowitz showed us.
Well, maybe if it rains between 5 and 6, it'll be okay. Maybe 4 and 5.
As usual, you are the eternal optimist. Nixon with a well-hit ball. Wynn, home run. Another wind-blown home run. Wynn was certain he was going to have a play on that one. At the last minute, he just looked up and watched it go into the camera platform. 19-4, the Red Sox. As Nixon goes deep, and his day being overshadowed by what Garcia Parra has done, but that's the 4th hit of the day for Trot Nixon. He's 4 for 5 with a single, 2 doubles and a homer. He scored 3 and driven in 3.
Nixon got underneath that ball, and he probably felt like, I got it pretty good, but probably not good enough. Look at the pitcher, looking up at the flag everywhere all over the ballpark. Whoops. Little slippage there on that pitch. And that'll go as ball 1.
I think he called that a strike, Jerry.
And here's the windup and the pitch. Just a little bit low. Imagine that sweat pouring down his arm, and the ball just slipped right out of his hand.
Did you look up at the flag to see if the wind caused that one? He had to be amazed by that home run. That was just a routine-looking fly ball.
Absolutely.
Zip up into that jet stream.
And you know, Sean, it used to be worse than that here at Fenway before they put up this 600 club, because it does cut down on some of the wind. When this was lower, when this level was not here, those balls to center field, it was the easiest place in the ballpark to hit a home run. They would just take off towards center field, pick up speed.
Damon is homered. Garcia Parra has hit 3 homers. Ramirez has homered. Nixon has homered. Six home runs for the Red Sox after they hit 5 on Sunday. I could imagine that'll have them searching for the Red Sox team record for home runs in consecutive games. I'm just guessing on that.
I'm sure the folks who were here last night very late and they come to the ball game today for a day game, and they're all over the record books today.
Full count on Mirabelli. He's had a good day. A double, a single, a walk. He scored 3 and driven in 3.
Look at that flag now. Wow.
Yeah, that wind is whipping straight out to center field.
It's going to be tough for you boating after this game, isn't it not?
I have a radio show to do, Jerry. There'll be no boating today.
Oh, well, you're going to be careful out there with those storms coming and these windy conditions, high waves.
Little pop up, caught by the shortstop. Gomez in shallow left. Disbelieving Travis Phelps can only shake his head as Rod Nixon's fly ball got a push from the wind and blew out of here to make it 19-4 after 7. Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares, and by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. to 4.
Number 2.
That's quite a line score, isn't it? Are those new graphics for us too?
Yeah, it looks different.
It does look different. Maybe we're not used to seeing a double-digit number in an inning. Yeah, they had to change the graphics a little bit to fit that double-digit number on there. By the way, the Red Sox record for team home runs in a game is 8. So 2 away from that. They hit 8 against Toronto July 4th of 1977. Here at Fenway. And the 6 home runs allowed, the most the Devil Rays have ever given up in one game in their history. Randy Wynn, the leadoff batter. Willie Banks has had a very nice outing. He's retired all 6 men he has faced. He and Wakefield have combined to retire the last 9 Tampa Bay Devil Rays. They've had just 1 base runner since the 3rd on an infield hit by Carl Crawford. 8th inning. 19-4. And Omar will get another at bat. Will hit 3rd in the bottom half of this inning. If you're just joining us, Nomar's hit 3 home runs today. He has driven in 8 runs. 2 2-run homers and a grand slam. He has also walked. Line past Maloney into right center. The hit. Randy Wynn is aboard, and he keeps getting his hits, even on an otherwise bad day for his team. He's 2 for 4.
Started the game at .317, 5th in the league in batting average. Chance today to jump up over Paul Konerko.
Brent Abernathy hit by a pitch and scored on a Steve Cox 2-run homer in the first. Fly to right in the second and to center in the fifth. He took ball one. The attendance here this afternoon, 33,190. A lot of them have left, especially the folks out in the bleachers where the sun has been baking them all day. Temperature in the 90s, mid-90s, high humidity. And the fans still paying their respects to Ted Williams. Either that or those guys just have a friend named Teddy they're wanting to say hi to. Now they have the number 9s to go with it, so clearly an expression of affection for Ted Williams. In the air and right, Nixon makes the catch. One out, win back to first.
Number 28, the first baseman, Steve Cox.
Here's Steve Cox. The day certainly didn't get off to a great start for the Red Sox when Cox hit a 2-run homer in the first. And Tampa Bay added 2 more in the second to take a 4-0 lead. The Red Sox have scored 19 unanswered runs. Cox hits it to second. Nicely played by Merlone on a tricky hop. They turn a double play. 4-6-3. It ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Nomar Garciaparra will hit third. It's 19-4 Red Sox. Johnny Damon takes ball one low from Travis Phelps. Nomar Garciaparra getting ready for his at bat. He'll hit third after Damon and Lou Merlone. Damon's had a good day. He has walked, homered, singled, and doubled. He needs the triple to hit for the cycle. And has flied to left. He has scored 3 times, driven in 2 runs, and stolen a base. Run really fast. Go for 3. Now he's not going to get the cycle. But it is a 4-hit day for Damon, and he's been on base 5 times. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Boston Red Sox. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. In addition, the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox. Lou Merlone takes a ball.
I'm going to jump way out here, Sean. Damon will not be trying to steal a base.
The ball high. Red Sox record for runs in a game is 29. June 8th of 1950 against St. Louis. 29-4 was the final. Three and all. So a chance for Nomar to come up there with 2 men on, perhaps. And singing happy birthday to Nomar. And there's ball 4. So here he comes with 2 men on. Nomar Garciaparra with 3 homers today and 2 in the Red Sox last game on Sunday at Yankee Stadium. Three homers and 8 runs batted in. There's never been a 4-homer game at Fenway Park by a Red Sox player or an opponent. And he hits that high in the air toward the triangle, but not enough wind to push that one out of here. He nearly got it to the warning track. Damon tags and takes third. So Nomar goes after the first one and flies to center. There have been 14 men, 14 times a player has hit 4 homers in a game in Major League Baseball history. It's happened twice this year. With Cameron and Green. Nomar bidding to join them, but he came up a little bit short. And it's the first out of the inning. Times in their history, the Red Sox have scored 20 or more runs in a game. One of those was a postseason game against Cleveland, that memorable 23-7 win in the division series in October of 1999. Ramirez hits that one high in the air and deep in left. That ball is gone. Second homer of the day for Manny. His third hit, all for extra bases. He's driven in 5 runs. And the Red Sox lead 22-4.
Well, the story obviously has been Garcia Parra on his birthday, but there have been other guys that have had unbelievable days today. Manny on that list, Johnny Damon, Trot Nixon, Mirabelli with a couple of hits and 3 RBI. And the home runs are coming in bunches.
7th homer of the day for the Red Sox. One shy of the team record for a single game. And they're not finished yet. Still just 1 out in the inning. Here's Hillenbrand. He pops it up. Hall and Sandberg. The third baseman, Sandberg, has it.
Didn't I tell you there's always one guy, Sean, in a game like this?
Hillenbrand's that guy. He's the only guy without a hit. He's the only guy in the lineup who hasn't scored a run. He did reach base on a walk back in the 3rd.
Number 23, the designated hitter, Brian Daubach.
22 runs allowed, the most ever allowed in a game by Tampa Bay. Daubach has walked, reached on an error and scored, and singled. Seven home runs, 19 hits for the Red Sox. It's the 4th time in their history the Red Sox have hit 7 or more home runs. 3rd time they've hit 7. They had the team record 8 that we mentioned earlier against Toronto in '77. It won't be a record-tying 8th today as Daubach flies to center to end the inning. Manny Ramirez a 3-run homer in the 8th, making it 22-4. Boston Red Sox baseball on Fox 25 is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. By your friendly New England Dodge dealer, grab life by the horns, go Dodge. By Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. By your New England Toyota dealer, what makes Toyota the best value? Ask someone who drives one. And by your New England Ford dealers, for the best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the planet, visit your local New England Ford dealers or log on to newenglandford.com.
Number 19, the designated hitter, Aubrey.
Manny Ramirez. You know, on a normal day, he'd be the center of attention.
A couple of guys.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't just Nomar, but what Nomar's done has overshadowed some other outstanding performances. Maloney threw out Huff for the first out of the 9th.
Number 44, the catcher, Toby Hall.
22 runs for the Red Sox, their most in a regular season game since April 12th of 1994, when they won 22-11 at Kansas City. Only 5 times in their history have they scored more than the 22 runs they've scored today in a regular season game. They've scored 23 twice, 24 twice, and the team record 29 back in 1950. Willie Banks has pitched 3 1/3 scoreless innings of relief, has given up just 1 hit. This is a save situation. Don't see many saves in a 22-4 game.
No, you got to work those 3 long full innings.
Yes, you do. Chopped up the middle. Garciaparra throws him out. Hall's 1 for 4. And the Devil Rays are down their final out of this afternoon contest.
Number 4, the right fielder,
Jason Conti will be the hitter. Talk about all the performances today by the Red Sox. Johnny Damon 4 for 5. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. 4 runs scored. 2 runs batted in, a stolen base, and a walk. That's not a bad day. Lou Merloni's been on base 4 times. With 2 walks. A single. He reached on an error. He has scored 4 runs. Manny Ramirez, the 2 homers and a double. 3 for 6. 5 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. Trot Nixon, 4 for 5. A single, 2 doubles, and a homer. 3 runs batted in. 3 runs scored. Doug Mirabelli, 2 for 4. With a walk. A single and a double. 3 runs scored. 3 runs batted in. To Nomar, and he can't come up with it. Well, let's take the Ford play of the game away from him, Jerry.
That's going to go as a base hit, I'm sure.
No, they gave him an error. How could they do that? It's his day. It's his birthday.
They gave him an error.
They gave him an error. And he just smiles. It's a tough play.
I have to disagree with that. I mean, here's a ball that's one of those short hops that bounces up and hits him on the wrist. How can that possibly be an error?
Because the official score said so. 17th error for Garciaparra. I think we'll let this one slide. I think they're just going to beat the rain too, Jerry. Do you notice off to our west?
Yes, I do, Sean.
The very dark clouds moving in.
Kevin Lemanowitz was certainly accurate.
As always. Yeah, ooh, here it comes. Hurry up.
Boy. Oh.
Imagine if they get a hit and then we have a rain delay. In a 22-4 game.
No, I can't imagine that.
With 1 out to go.
With another game tonight.
To right. Nixon makes the catch, putting the finishing touches on a memorable day for the Red Sox. They bounce back into the win column in resounding fashion, winning 22-4. 19 hits, 7 home runs for the Red Sox. They beat the Devil Rays for the 9th time in as many tries. Willie Banks saved it for Tim Wakefield. Wakefield is the winning pitcher. He's 4-3. Tanyan Sturge, the loser, 1-10. And the save for Banks, his first. 33,190 the attendance here today. The Devil Rays left only 2 men on base, while the Red Sox stranded 5. Time of the game, 2 hours and 54 minutes. Nomar Garciaparra, 3 homers and a walk, 8 runs batted in, a grand slam. First player in Major League Baseball history to hit a grand slam on his birthday, and the first hit 3 home runs on his birthday. And we're trying to arrange a few words with Nomar as we speak. And I think here he comes to oblige us with a chat. Red Sox with the victory now, 58-39. Within 3.5 of the Yankees now, with the Yankees in action tonight, as the Red Sox will be. Nomar, thanks for coming back out. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Yes, this is probably the most memorable birthday you've ever had, my friend.
Yeah, it was a pretty good one. And I'll tell you what, it's great because these fans don't let me forget it. I mean, that's what's awesome. They've been singing happy birthday to me all day, and it's pretty unbelievable.
Well, your age is really starting to show, Nomar. A very tough day today. The 3 straight home runs with the 8 RBI. Very unusual. You swung at a 3-0 pitch today, which is something I think was the first time you've done all season long.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. I was feeling pretty good, and I was looking for a good pitch to hit, and I got it, and I'm glad it went out for me.
And actually, this is a continuation for you, Nomar, because you hit the 2 home runs on Sunday as well against the Yankees.
Yeah, well, you know, I wish we had a better result on Sunday, but at the same time, you know, I'll take this one. And, you know, we got to really tip our hats to our teammates and everything, because when you score that many runs, that's everybody doing their job, and it's a good one, and we got another one today.
Now, we were talking about that during the game, the fact that obviously a tremendous day for you, but also Trot Nixon with a big day, Ramirez with a big day, so that's a good sign for the ball club to obviously put this many points on the board to start this homestand.
Yeah, it's really nice. Unfortunately, the runs aren't transferable, so we're going to have to go out there and try to score some more.
Well, go get some sleep now. Rest about a half hour and come back with the same swing.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nomar. Congratulations. As you might have been able to tell, the interview played over the PA system. That was a little jarring for me.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you couldn't tell?
No, geez, I'd have been nervous.
You would have been nervous. Well, we're talking to many more people in TV land. Once again, the final score of today's game, the Red Sox 22 and the Devil Rays 4. Here come the dark clouds. This is the Fox 25 Red Sox television network.
Now, the play of the game brought to you by New England Ford dealers, and it's going to be the bunt attempt. No, it's going to be Nomar.
Huge day for Garciaparra. 3 straight home runs, 8 RBI, ended up 3 for 5 on his 29th birthday. And still another game to play tonight here at Fenway. For the best selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs on the planet, visit your local New England Ford dealer or log on to newenglandford.com.
One other fact about Nomar's day, the only 2 other players who've had 2 3-home run games at Fenway Park are Mo Vaughn and Joe Carter. So Nomar joins them as well. Nesson will have the second half of today's doubleheader tonight at 7. We're back with you Thursday night at 7 for the finale of this series, right here on Fox 25. Till then, for Jerry Remy, Sean McDonough saying so long from Fenway Park. This has been a presentation of Fox 25 Sports. Now let's join Jody Applegate at the Fox 25 News Desk.
Has made